Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an S-51. It's the Tier 7 Soviet SPG that's not on the main SPG line. It's actually off the KV-2. But it's a SPG based on the chassis of the KV-1S. And this one has a 203mm B4 howitzer. Now it's under the command of tiltratt of Philo, and he's on the north spawn of Malinovka. Okay, battle has started. Now, he doesn't have much ammunition to play with. You only get 12 rounds with the S-51. They did actually build some prototypes of this Arty. Unfortunately, every time they fired the gun, it literally shaped the thing to pieces. So they didn't actually produce this Arty, it didn't go to production runs, but they tested it quite a lot to see if they could fix the problems. Because what they wanted to do was use the KV-1S chassis for SPGs. And they had a lot of chassis left over after they stopped producing the KV-1S. Oh, looks like tiltratt's going to go through the water. He's having a quick bath. Or is he going to fire from here? Well, that's unusual. Haven't seen many people do this. He's backing up in the water and he's going to shoot from the water. Okay, and he's ready to shoot. And he's now looking at the targets. They never got around to producing the S-51. They tried to build it, tried to get it right. They even tried putting two chassis together to mount the gun to dispel the shock, the recoil from the gun being fired, but it just didn't work in the end. So it just got to the prototype stage and they stopped building it. But what I can tell you is the S-51 is very good at getting bombardiers. And that shell went wide of the mark. We fired at the Tiger, but we didn't get him. Now he's got a very long reload, 45.1 seconds. And that would indicate to me that either he's not using a rammer, he's certainly not using premium consumables, and he might not have a fully trained crew. Now, as I say, you can't get the S-51 on the normal main artillery tech tree. What you have to do is you have to work your way up to the KV-2, and then if you earn enough XP from the KV-2, you can unlock the S-51, and the S-51 then leads to the SU-14-2, the school bus, at tier 8 on the normal tech tree. So you can actually get your way through the Soviet tech tree without actually touching a single Arty, and then after KV-2 you can get the S-51 and then the SU-14-2, and that's a direct hit. 488 hit points there on the IS, and then he picks up the stun assist after it's wiped out. It was an AFK. We've got an M4A3E2, the Super Jumbo, hiding behind that house. He's been very badly damaged. Now, one thing I can tell you about the S-51 is it's got a huge damage footprint. With the 203mm howitzer, it can do 1050 alpha damage on a penetration of 52mm. It's also got an 11.5 meter burst radius, and if you use the premium ammo as we've got here, he's got 13 meters, and that means it's very good at getting bombardiers. Okay, we've got a Skoda T25 hiding behind the rocks, but we can't fire because that P43 is just too close, and the P43 kills the Skoda. Now we've got a Progetto over on the left side of the battlefield, and here's a whole bunch of tanks up the hill, and we're dialing in on them, specifically on the AMX 50-100. Rounds out. Oh, it direct hit. It definitely hit one of them, but I think there was two tanks almost together. I think it was the AMX 50-100 that got hit. So he may have been very badly damaged with that shot. Couple of tanks going up the hill. We've only got that 45 TP up the hill, so we really do need to help him by putting a few rounds in, but it's still going to be another 15 seconds before we can shoot, and the 45 TP is under pressure from that T29. So if we could relieve the pressure by taking out that T-29, that would certainly help a great deal. We're almost ready to go. Lining up the shot. And rounds out. Should work. It lands near the front of that T-29. But the 45 TP is having to back away because he's now facing 4 opponents. And he's been killed. Tiger got him. That means the enemy have the control of the top of the hill. But far from actually trying to come down the other side, it looks like some of their tanks are now trying to return to their own cap. I think they realise their own cap is about to be overrun. And we've got a KV-2 down there and a Striv S1 is moving towards it. Or at least he's sitting in the middle of the field. And we are now capping. So that's the reason why they've gone down the other side. And sadly, we've got an ARL-44 and a 53 TP sitting idly on the south side of the hill on this side of the map, the north side. And they're not doing anything at all other than trying to guard against any of the tanks coming down from the hill. I don't think they'll come down from the hill this side. They're going to go back to their own base. The Striv's moving towards the enemy cap. I'll say I'll increase the mini-map temporarily because we're not seeing anything through our trajectory view, our battle assistant. There's nothing for tiltratt to fire at the moment, so that's why he's maintained his view at the position he is. But he could actually readjust his aim to look at grid square J9 or J0, because I think that's where the enemy tanks are going to appear. We just lost the KV-2, taken out by the Progetto. He's indicating that the shot may have come from grid square H8, and tiltratt's now looking at that spot. Trouble is, because nobody's capping anymore, the enemy really hasn't got any reason to be back down at their own cap area. They know the Striv's down there, or they may have seen the Striv, but they might be enticed to actually try and go to our cap. And a message was sent by one of the team not for the Striv to die, and there's the Progetto. He's been spotted. He is going after the Striv. We're lining up a shot on him. Rounds out. Oh no, it's a bit late. It is the other end of the battlefield, and the flight time is at least 3 seconds. Well, 2.9 seconds. No, 3 seconds from here. Yep. And we're indicating the target. And the Striv's under pressure, and the 43 TP is trying to redeploy to get closer. The Progetto's very close to the water. The Striv's backing away. He's backing away round the corner. We need to help him, but we're still at least 10 seconds away from shooting. All the Striv can do at the moment is hold a defensive position. And he's being attacked by the enemy Arty, which is a Lorraine 15550. So we fired a round in. That's going to hit the rock. Yes, it did. And I could tell that straight away, because it was aimed at the wrong place. He needed to aim just slightly ahead of the Progetto in order to splash him for sure, to avoid hitting the rock. The rock would have protected the Progetto from the blast. And now we've got a Tiger 1 nearby as well. So the Progetto, the Striv is in all times, all sorts of problems here. He can't back away, because if he tries to back away from the Progetto, he's going to get hit by the Tiger 1. The 53 TP is now helping. He'll keep that Progetto occupied. Rounds in on the Progetto. He did it right this time. He did it right. He actually fired towards the front of the Progetto, and he splashed the Progetto for 231. You want to avoid hitting that rock if you can, because it will protect whatever tank's hiding behind it. Which is why they seek cover behind it, you see. And tiltratt's having a look to see if he can put a round over the rock. He's much better to put it in front of the rock, not over. And he's now checking his angles from above to see how close is he. He fired the round at the Progetto, and he gets a direct hit. That was well aimed. 390 hit points this time. It certainly looks as if tiltratt's firing position from inside the lake has been quite useful, because I don't think the enemy has even tried to do any counter battery all game. Progetto's tried to come around, but in doing that he's exposed himself. I think he's thought twice about it, because he realises 53 will probably get him. Unfortunately, we've lost our ARL 44 to their AMX 5100. We fired at the Progetto, and oh yes, we splashed him to death. And there's their AMX 5100. So they did try to conduct an attack, and the Tiger's gone diving straight in to try and take out the Striv, and he's pushing him back into the water. And the Lorraine 15550 tried to come over the top, and he was wiped out by the 53 TP. We now need the 53 TP to fire on the Tiger, and he does, and wipes him out. So he saved the Striv from almost certain death, because he was going to be pushed into the lake. And now the enemy's in a very bad state, because all they've got left now is their VK3601 and their T29. And the T29's also gone down to the southwest corner of the map. And he's sitting there. Oh, he's just been taken out by the 53 TP. So that 53 TP has done rather well from assisting his teammates. He's now got 4 kills. Now, we don't know where this AMX, this VK, sorry, 3601H has gone. Well, Stribs is going to cap now. He's in the cap, and the 53 TP appears to be on the way. So's the T3485. In fact, we're the only one who hasn't moved. And that's mainly because we're actually quite slow compared to the others. And the 3601 is right next door to us. Oh my god. And we're loaded, but can we get the kill? Oh, we shotgun him for 363, but he kills us with the next round. Yep, so being in the lake didn't work out okay in the end, because we didn't have a clear view of that 3601 approaching. The 53 TP is going back to try and kill the 3601, and he's more than a match for that 3601. They both got about the same amount of health. And there's the BK. He's been spotted. He's being fired on by the T34. And the T34 gets him. So, battle over. It's a win. And here's the end of battle result. It's a first class tanker for tiltratt Philo in the S-51. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15. And a Gore's medal for scoring more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. It says 8 there actually. I think it is 10. Unless of course Wargaming have changed that in the meanwhile. But anyway, let's have a look at the win 8. It was 3-6-8-7 for that battle. We look at the team scores. We can see that it's actually the Striv who managed to get the most damage during the battle. He got 2,917. Then came tiltratt with 2,812. And then the highest next scorer was the AMX 5100 on the enemy team. And I didn't actually see who killed him, because obviously we were so involved. He was killed by Ori01. And Ori01 was the T3485. So he got him after he killed off our ARL. So let's have a look at the number of kills. Well, the highest number of kills goes to the 53 TP. He managed to get 4. Then came the T3485 with 3, and the Progetto 46 on the enemy team. tiltratt managed to get 1 kill, but I'm afraid that's all he did. But what he did get is base XP of 927. The highest one was the 53 TP. He managed 1025, and then came the Striv with 1012. So let's have a look at the detail report. Well, he fired 10 rounds. He only had 12 to start with, but he had those 2 premium rounds left over right at the end. He got 3 direct hits, 3 penetration, and 7 splash. Damage of 2,812 hit points, of which 2,449 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits, both from the VK, and they were both penetrations. They both killed him, or rather one of them killed him. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, so unfortunately the difference there is 5, so he didn't qualify for the Confederate. He also did 177 hit points of stun assistance off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 45,341 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he had 22,391 credits left over. He got 3 bonds for the Gore's medal. He also picked up 1,390 experience points, times 4 for the first victory of the day, so he took away 5,562 experience points altogether. But it was a first class and a Gore's medal, so that will be helpful, and there were some credits to take away. So congratulations, tiltratt. If you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.